He's angry about mortgages. It's Angry Mortgage. He's swearing. He's cursing loud. He's old. He's opinionated. And he's been doing this so damn long. This program is about mortgages, and this is mortgage advice, but the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact licensed mortgage professionals for specific recommendations before you make decisions about mortgages. You may not agree with Ron, but if you don't, he thinks you're wrong. Oh, and did we say there is a lot of swearing?
Does that make sense? Like, if I feel one way, so everyone needs to feel the same way, and if you don't, fuck you. Okay,
Yeah.
like, that's odd.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Except people have their own opinions, their own feelings.
There's a couple of great pieces of analysis came out of that election, which I also think are applicable to Canada. They have the same kind of meaning in Canada. Is the talk was, hey, like, the American economy is good, because that's true, right? Like, I mean, people, but Americans. Well, let me put it to you this way: compared with Canada, the American economy is great.
It's thriving. Yeah.
It's thriving. There's new businesses opening. Their employment rate is higher than ours, significantly higher. Their stock market's gone through the roof. Their productivity is enormous. It's like 45% better than Canadian productivity. Folks, don't worry about productivity. I'm not suggesting people are lazy in Canada. They're not. It's just that
they have more people.
Well, but they invest in improving stuff. Like, what productivity is actually efficiency and invention. Finding new ways to do things that are more efficient. Finding ways, like finding new systems, developing new technologies, inventing things. That's productivity. Okay,
Yeah.
and it also has to do with investment, and it also has to do with lower taxes.
Right.
Because if you have very, very high taxes, it's hard to be as productive, right?
For sure.
Like, you don't have enough money to put into inventing.
If you're
new
losing
things
half the
and
taxes, of course not.
capital investment, everything
Yeah.
else. You're quite right. That is quite correct. So they have a whole different their economy is pretty good. But there's a great line from one of the analysts who said, "Hey, economists can tell you that the economy is great. But if you personally don't think it's great, you're not going to vote like it was great." So when Trump says he's going to make it better, you would vote for him.
Right.
Even if he has other odd qualities, okay? You would still vote for him. You'd say, because let's face it, even though we're telling everyone, and we're telling everybody correctly that the rate of inflation is down, the prices in the stores are not down. So if you haven't got a good enough raise, you feel everything's gone wrong.
You're struggling. Yeah.
You're struggling. Okay,
Yeah.
exactly right. So I thought that was very wise. He said, economists might think the economy is doing better and is a good economy. But if you're a human being who finds that the price of everything is still higher than you can afford,
Right.
you don't think the economy's good.
Of course. Yeah.
And when someone shows up and says, "I'm going to make it better," you could take the shot.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Listen, Americans felt like they needed Trump. That's why they voted, right? At the end of the day, like, they've had the past 4 years under the Biden administration, they felt like things were not going in the way that improved their day-to-day life. So they made a change. That's what democracy is.
Perfect summation. Absolutely.
You have your vote, right?
Perfect summation. That is exactly what happened. And the same, in all likelihood, applies to Canada. Okay? That, I see all the time, like literally every time the Bank of Canada lowers its rate, within 5 minutes, the finance minister, Krista Freeland, puts out a tweet that says, "Our plan is working.
Yeah.
Our plan is working. Interest rates are coming down. Canadians are doing great. Everything's..." No.
But it's like, which Canadians are doing great? Because your average Canadian, I don't think, is exactly thriving with this economy. So
same as the U.S. It's how you feel in your own home that day. Like, when you say, "Oh, there's no steak for me. Like, we got to buy something different."
Yeah. We need canned beans because we can't do,
Or
regular
look
stuff.
at this, a 20% increase in the car insurance. What the fuck are we going to do? Okay. Like, you don't feel great about,
of course.
Because here's the other truth about going through a period of high inflation. It takes wages a long time to catch up.
Oh, 100%.
They don't catch up instantly. So people will feel pissed off. And the fact that our government says the same thing all the time, the government in Ottawa says, more work to do, but the plan is going to work. The plan is working. More work to do. Everybody just thinks, fuck off. I make it better now. Like you've been in the government for 9 years. Things, COVID was like 3.5 years ago. Okay, like straighten it out now. Why are things going better now? Okay, which is why Trump's the president.
If you like the pod, well, don't just sit there. Go to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones and like the pod. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep being angry at mortgages and swearing about mortgages. Angry Mortgage could use your support.